Alright, hi. It's me back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Emmy nominations. Now, a lot of you who, or not a lot, but if you remember, I spoke about Emmy nomination my predictions um, a few weeks ago in a video. And when I'm talking about Emmy nominations, I'm specifically talking about choreography. So I was talking about what I thought that Dancing with the Stars, the pros, could do for that. Um, so Emmy nominations came out last week. I wanted to make a video last week, but a lot of stuff was happening. So, I just didn't feel up to making a video about this, and I didn't really feel like it was the right time for all that. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and get started with it. So there were five choreographers nominated, um, four of which I know the names of, and one of which I don't remember the person's name, but I do remember the piece. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. Um, most of four out of the five Emmy, or actually no, three out of the five Emmy nominations were very predictable. Um, I figured Derek Huff was going to get one for his work with Bendy Irwin on his last season of Dancing with the Stars, and they were nominated for their Argentine tango, um, her foxtrot, and their freestyle. I personally thought that their foxtrot and their freestyle definitely Emmy worthy. Watch their Argentine tango again. Um, I don't understand why they threw that into the package. Personally, myself, I would have thrown in maybe their final quick step or um, her contemporary routine from. Well, I wouldn't have done her contemporary routine from week 4 because her freestyle from week 11 was way better. Um, but I would have done her second quick step personally um, over the Argentine tango. I think that would help his chances greatly if he were to do that instead. If he had done that instead. But he got nominated. I wasn't surprised about that. He did a great job with Bendy this past season. Another person who was nominated that I wasn't shocked about was Travis. His last name escapes me. Is it Garland? He's one of the main choreographers on So You Think You Can Dance. He does a lot of contemporary. His pieces are always great. I don't typically like contemporary, but I can watch his pieces just because tend to be very um, they tend to be more interesting to me. And he always gets nominated. Well, not always, but he gets nominated quite often. And so the pieces I watched were really good, especially the one with the two guys. That was really good. I like that. And then the piece with the top 16, um, can't remember what, but the top 16, they had this kind of light dance thing, which was really cool. And I like that too. Um, the other piece I didn't really too much care for, but it happens. Um, and then the third piece, or the third one that I wasn't very surprised about, came from So You Think You Can Dance. A lot of people seem to be surprised about it. I figured So You Think You Can Dance would get at least 2 nominations just because they tend to get a bunch. I was surprised that it wasn't in like contemporary or jazz or like pop jazz or something like that. It was tap. But the routine I watched was really good. It was a really, really, really good tap routine. Really cool, really fun, really interesting. I liked what they were doing with it and the whole like table thing that they did where they were tapping on top of it. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot and it was really cool to watch. So yeah, those three were I wasn't surprised about. Now, The other two that filled out the slots, I was surprised about both of them. One in a good way, one in a very good way, and I was very pleased. The other in a not so good way, and talk about snubbing in a few seconds. But I'll start with the good. Quest Crew from got nominated for three of their pieces from America's Best Dance Crew, the All Star season. As you may or may not know, they just won. They won season 3 of America's Best Dance Crew. I think it was season 3. I believe it was season 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, then they came back with the All Star season. There's a bunch of different crews that came back, and they ended up winning the All Star season as well. And many of you know that's a team that d-trix, Dominic Sandoval, a YouTuber, is in. That's kind of where I guess that's kind of where he got big. He was on So You Think You Can Dance, and then he was like an America's Dance Crew. He got top 8, and So You Think You Can Dance, and then his Quest Crew won their season of America's Best Dance Crew. So he's and then they just won again. So he's very 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 successful. Even outside of YouTube, he's very very successful and well known in the dance community and well respected. Um, Now, um, yeah, Quest Crew. I watched their 3 numbers. I was very happy. It was very cool to see something from America's Best Dance Crew get nominated, because I don't think they've ever gotten a nomination from that show before. So that was really cool that the Emmys decided, the Emmy Academy or whatever, whoever votes, decided to kind of go out of the So You Think You Can Dance and Dancing with the Stars territory and search for other things that they can nominate that are deserving of nominations too. And I'm glad that they did that, because I was deserving of it. I liked all 3 of their submissions, and in fact, personally, I would really want them to win the Emmy, because it was just so cool. It was so inventive. It was so creative and unique, and just something that you haven't, just a lot of things put together that you haven't really seen before. And all 3 of their routines were very fresh. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed watching those. I personally hope they win. Either them or the tap dance. Those were my 2 favorite submissions, because they're just fun and different, and um, not what we're used to seeing getting nominated for these choreography Emmys. Now, the last nomination came from this show called My Crazy Ex Girlfriend, I believe. I think it comes on the CW. Never seen it. I've heard about it once before the Emmys. Um, and I was like, this is strange. This is weird that they went to a TV show to get their nominations. Maybe that's really good. So I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it, and the first one was this yoga thing, and I was watching it, and I was just kind of like, hmm, okay, so what am I missing? Like, why is this nominated? And I was like, okay, well, maybe this is their kind of whatever piece, because a lot of choreographers, they have that whatever piece in their submission package for choreography. So I'm like, let me look at the next one. I look at the next one, which is it was like a boy band thing. And I was watching it, I was this is this is what One Direction and them do, and no shade to One Direction, but they don't really dance. They don't dance. So I was just watching it please tell me what I'm missing, because whatever it is, whatever it is that I'm missing, please help me get it. Help me understand why this got nominated. So I was like, you know what? Let me look at this last one. And the last one was this one called Settle for Me, I think. It was very cute, but it still wasn't great. It was my favorite piece of that entire submission, but it wasn't great. And so for me, I'm sitting there like, why was this nominated? Like, why did they decide to nominate this? I would love to know why they decided to nominate certain things, because this just didn't deserve it, in my opinion. A Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Um, it was, I don't know if it was like uh, nominated because it was, you know, mediocre and bad, and intentionally mediocre and bad. So like, was that the reasoning behind it? Or like, is there like, did they, were they drinking when they saw this? Like, I'm not understanding what their reasoning was. And the reason I say this is because you have people who are deserving of nominations who end up getting snubbed for things like this. um you know, Mark Ballas from Dancing with the Stars definitely deserved another Emmy deserved an Emmy nomination for his work this season with Paige Van Zandt, the what is it, USC fighter. Um, he definitely deserved a nomination for that Viennese waltz and that Paso Doble. I don't know what else they would have submitted, because the submission time cut off right after that Viennese waltz, but I'm sure they could have found something else. Maybe their Toy Story quick step thing, which is really good. I'm sure he could have submitted that, or um, her what else could her jazz? I wouldn't have done the jazz, but maybe her jive. I'm not sure, but um, it just makes me wonder, like, why would they nominate that when you have people who are um, way more deserving and actually deserve to be nominated, because of the work that they put in and because of how like great they were. Another person I would say, Lindsay Arnold. The work that she did with Wanye this season. I'm not sure if her Charleston could have been nominated. Um, but I feel like a couple of their dances could have been nominated. Um, that samba for sure for me should have been nominated because it was very, very interesting and unique and different, and very. I just I don't know. I don't know. And then I'm sure if you look at So You Think You Dance, I heard this season wasn't that strong choreographically and dance wise. But I'm sure they could have found one more person who was way more um, deserving of the nomination than My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Not taking anything away from that, because it was, I understand like the work that goes into it and all that stuff. But when you look at that and then you look at the other dances that they could have nominated and didn't, it always brings up the question of why. Why did this person get it and not this person? And again, I'm not saying it in regards to the other people, because everybody else's were great and they should be nominated. And I'm not, in no way, shape, or form am I taking away those accomplishments from them. And even still, congratulations to My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, because that is a huge feat to get nominated for an Emmy at all. So, but it just makes you wonder, like, what the Academy. My criticism is not for the show and for different choreographers. My criticism is for the Academy, and I'm just trying to figure out what they look for in a dance, because I'm sure there could have been countless others that they could have nominated besides that. And I just want to know, like, what their reasoning is behind things like that, because it always, when I see things like that, it's nominations like that, it's always just so random, and it's just like, well, what is your message here? Because with nominations that are just so out the blue and so just seemingly not deserving of it, it's always like, what's your message here? Like, what are you trying to send to people? So yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say about that. The Emmys nominations for choreography. I may do a video tomorrow on kind of the week news just in general, because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. And might as well just do it in one whole video at the end of the week, because stuff's still happening. So yeah, that's about it. Until next time. Bye.